Hello, good day awesome grade 12 students. By the way, I am your teacher Roy and welcome to the subject Media and Information Literacy. This time, we will going to discuss the lesson 3 which is the information literacy. In lesson 1, we discussed already the definition of information literacy. Learning competencies. Define information needs and locate, access, assess, organize, and communicate information. Demonstrate ethical use of information. Okay, now let's discuss information. So, what is information? Information is a broad term that covers processed data, knowledge derived from the study, experience, instructions, signals, or symbols. The information is what you get from your investigation or the study. Data is a raw materials to get information. Okay, now let's discuss information literacy. Information literacy is a set of individual competencies needed to identify, evaluate, and use information in the most ethical, efficient, and effective way across all domains, occupation, and professions. It refers to the ability to recognize when information is needed and to locate, evaluate, effectively use, and communicate information in its various formats. So, it means people need to be literate in information. If the person is literate enough in information, he or she can identify, can evaluate, and use information in ethical way. Evaluate the information if it is from in a legit source or not. There are so many false information over internet and believe that those information is true and shared by an illiterate information. That is why we need this information literacy and we need to be literate in information. Being information literate, it involves developing a learning habit. So, we have 7 stages or elements of information literacy. First, identifying or recognizing information needs. Second, determining sources of information. Third, citing or searching for information. Fourth, analyzing and evaluating the quality of information. Fifth, organizing, storing, or archiving information. Sixth, using information in an ethical, efficient, and effective way. Seventh, creating and communicating new knowledge. Identifying or recognizing information needs. You need to identify and recognize a need for information and data to achieve a specific end and define limits to the information need. Example, to be updated with the news, for learning education purposes, for communication, to acquire knowledge needed for decision making. Determining sources of information. In determining sources of information, the question is, where do you search or get for information? To determine the sources of information, one could go to the library, search in internet, and ask experts or friends. Citing or searching for information. How will you justify and find information? If you copy information on the book, you will write the author of the book, when and where the book published. But if you copy information over the internet, you write the link of the website in order to acknowledge the author. Analyzing and evaluating the quality of information. How will you determine the quality and accuracy of the information that you have? How do I know if the source is reliable? Make sure the source is written by a trustworthy author and or institution. Example, it should come from a reputable sources such as an institution. Organizing, storing, or archiving information. How do you acquire and store information? Example, You need to write, print, photograph, download, cloud storage, record, external memory drives, and memory cards of your information in order to store them or acquire them. Using information in an ethical, efficient, and effective way. How do you use the information that you have? Use the information correctly and properly. Creating and communicating new knowledge. How will you communicate information? This involves knowing how to write reports, emails, use social media, prepare slideshow presentation, use data graphics, and the like. Ethical use of information. There are times when you need to share information that you have acquired from various sources written by different authors. It is inevitable to directly quote their words in order to preserve their meaning. However, quoting someone else's words without giving credit to the author essentially gives an impression that you are claiming ownership of the words they have said. This is called plagiarism. So now, what is plagiarism? Plagiarism, using other people's words and ideas without clearly acknowledging the source of the information. If you copying information to the internet, journals, magazines, and book, you need to cite or acknowledge the author. Write the name of the book and write the links of the internet. Here are some tips to avoid plagiarism. First, common knowledge. Common knowledge, facts that can be found in numerous places and are likely to be widely known. It is information the average reader would know. Ask yourself if you knew the information already. If you didn't, the information is not common knowledge. Example: John F. Kennedy was elected President of United States in 1960. So, this information is generally known information. You do not need to document this fact. Second, interpretation. You must document facts that are not generally known, or ideas that interpret facts. Example: Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player ever to have played the game. This idea is not a fact, but an interpretation or an opinion. But still, you need to cite the source. Third, quotation. Using someone's words directly. When you use direct quote, place the passage between quotation marks and document the source according to standard documenting style. Example: According to John Smith in the New York Times, 37% of all children under the age of 10 live below the poetry line. So, still, you need to cite the source. Fourth, paraphrase. Using someone's ideas but rephrasing them in your own words. Although you will use your own words to paraphrase, you must still acknowledge and cite the source of the information. Plagiarism has legal implications. While ideas themselves are not copyrightable, the artistic expressions of an idea automatically falls under copyright when it is created. Under fair use, small parts may be copied without permission from the copyright holder. However, even under fair use, in which you can use some parts of the material for academic or non-profit purposes, you must attribute the original sources. What is considered fair use is rather subjective and can vary from country to country. Strategies in avoiding plagiarism. First, submit your own work for publication. You need to cite even your own work. Cite your name, when and where your work published. Second, put quotation marks around everything that comes directly from the text and cite the sources. Third, paraphrase, but be sure that you are not simply rearranging or replacing a few words and cite the source. Fourth, keep a source journal, a notepad, or a note cards. Annotated bibliographies can be especially beneficial. Fifth, use the style manual in properly citing sources. Sixth, Get help from a writing center or library. This is the end of the lesson 3. Once again, I am your teacher Roy na nagsasabing, be original and don't plagiarize. Thank you for watching.